Although you guys already know what triplets and shuffle rhythms are, we're encountering that now in Book 2 of Hal Leonard. They're describing eighth note triplets on page 36, and then on page 37, moving on to a song called Lost in the Shuffle. If you have quarter notes, which are worth one beat, they get divided into two equal halves. These eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and straight eighths are equal. And 2 and 3 and 4 and. Triplet eighth puts three notes in the space of those two eighth notes. So triplet eighth notes get three in the space of a beat. Triplet quarter notes would get three where two quarter notes go. So three triplet quarters where you get two quarter notes over two beats then. Three triplet half notes in the space of a bar. So three triplet halves would cover four beats. You've seen some music that's written as 12-8. It's the same thing. If you got 12-8, you're looking at 12 eighth notes in a bar. We would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 if we were going to count all the eighth notes. Generally we don't. We'll count them 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Your pulse is still in 4. So to get 3 eighth notes you would have a dotted quarter note. Quarter note is worth 2 eighths and the dot gives you another eighth, 1 and a. This one I've got 3 eighth notes together in beat 2, 2 and a, that would be actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A quarter and an eighth in beat 3, 7, 8, 9, or 3 and a. And then I just put a dotted quarter on beat 4, 4 and a. 12-8 does not usually refer to how you want to count your music though. 12-8 is how you're going to hear it played, especially from the drummer. You'll hear him driving out those 12-8 notes. You have 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. For me, the 12-8 designation helps the rhythm section more than it does me as a lead player counting notes. I'd rather see it in 4-4. I'd rather see this beat, single quarter note in 4-4, where the division is triplet eighths. So it's still 1 and a, but I only have to see one quarter note. Beat 2 is triplets. Instead of 3 eighths alone, there are 3 triplet eighth notes, 2 and a. This is where swing comes in. This pair of eighth notes looks equal. In 12-8, you showed them differently. You showed the quarter being longer than the eighth. In swing, you just know that the first eighth in the pair is the longer. It's worth 2 of the others. So you get 3 and a. A bar of those would give you, instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, it'd be 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. Although it would be written the same way. It'd be written with eighth notes, but you'd know the designation was eighths actually equal triplet eighths, where the first one and 2 are tied together, or they're represented by a quarter and an eighth. That just means we're dividing into 3 and we're playing a long and a short eighth note in each beat. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a. That music then easily subdivides into triplets. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a triple, a triple, a triple, a triple, a 1 and 2 and triple and 4. You can hear you can move back and forth from triplets to swing eighths very easily. That's how I'd prefer to see it. I'd rather see 4-4, where they just tell you the eighths are going to equal these swing or shuffle eighths, rather than trying to decipher what I'm looking at in 12-8. But you will see both. In Lost in the Shuffle then, we start off with an eighth note, which is going to be a swing eighth. It's the smaller of the eighths coming in on beat 3 and. Since I haven't written this out in big notes on my board, I'm going to need some cheaters here. So our pickup note, we would count 1 and a 2 and a 3, and on the of 3, we'll start the pickup note, and then 4 and a, so we have 3 and 4 and a. On 1, we're hitting the E note, but it's part of an E chord, or an E power chord. So I would be holding the 2nd fret E note with my pointer, which is also covering the 5th string. So this is going to be in place before you even start. The pickup. Now I hit that note, the E on the 4th string. On the upbeat, the swing upbeat, we're going to hit the power chord. So we get and 4 and a 1 and, or and 4 and a 1 and 2 on beat 2, we're going into a shuffle, which you're used to. We're hitting the power chord, O, 2 and 2, E, B and E, and on beats 2 and 4, we're putting the C sharp in. We're going from an E5 to an E6. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. If you need to remember that a little bit more, you can go back and check out our video on Keep Your Hands to Yourself by the Georgia Satellites. Again, we've got our pickup, hit the E on beat 1, start the strumming on the and of 1, and those are swinging. At the end of that line, line 1, at the end of bar 2, we're doing the same pickup. So we've got that twice. The pickup and then bar 2 sound the same. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and a 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Now the lick is going to move from the low string to the A string. In blues, you know, you've played your root for a while. The E, you're going to go up a fourth to the A now. So we move our lick to the next string. Do the pattern on the A chord, so it's a open A, an E and an A note. Our melody is the A on the 3rd string. Strum up on the chord, down on beat 2 where we add that note. It's the F sharp, the 6 on the A chord. Move back to the original riff. So now we've played on the E twice, on the A, back to the E, so the 1, the 4, and the 1. Now we go to the 5 chord, which is E, F, G, A, B. It's the B chord, almost always a B7. So we do the same riff. Instead of going to an E note, we go to a B note. Naturally, you'll want your pointer there, but we have to do the B7 right away. So we'll do the riff, and then if you can get back with your middle finger, you'll get into place for the B7 chord. 2 and 3, 4, and then A7, and then back to the riff on E and end with a B7. And 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and repeat. 1. Repeating on E to A, back to E, go to B7. So that would be a riff and a chord pattern. Actually a very nice song, not only for triplets, but just for alternating riffs and chords. That'll do it for now, guys. Catch you later. Bye.